Hello and welcome back to my channel. It is now week 45 and it is Thursday, I think. And we are getting close to the year mark, honestly, on my journey of becoming an artist, my journey of doing Marc Burnet's art school, my journey of rediscovering creativity again. I don't know, lots of stuff going on. And my intros have been way too long, so we're just going to jump into the book updates. I have not been reading a lot this month. I am behind on the number of books that I should have read this year, but I'm kind of giving myself a pass with a terrible December, a new job, lots of stuff is going on, so I'm trying to be so chill about it. But I have read a little bit. So first, I did finish Upstream by Mary Oliver. This is, I guess it's technically essays, but genre-wise it said poetry, and that's what I went in thinking it was, just like poetry. And I guess technically it was prose, not my genre normally, so please forgive me. Overall, I did like it. I thought that the way Mary Oliver wrote about animals and nature was really inspiring. I wasn't a huge fan of a lot of the other stuff, but otherwise it was fine. I'd probably rate it like 3.5 out of 5. Pretty much on the flip side, I am now reading 9 Goblins by Kingfisher. This is a YA fantasy. It's about 9 goblins. I think it's also listed as like humor or comedy. And so far it's very silly and fun, but it does have some themes of like what makes a good leader. What are ways that you can work with people who are different than you and kind of get the best out of them and yourself. And there are some very, very, I would say, casual political undertones as well. So it feels definitely topical. So far it's really, it's pretty nice. It's a fun little story about a bunch of little guys. So far so good on that. It is definitely the opposite of poetry, but that's fine. I like the variety. As far as games go, I have not been playing games. I do find that generally this time of year, spring is coming and you start to get the first couple nice days. Games just don't hit the same when it's nice out. So I've been playing a little bit of Minecraft here and there on the Forever server, and we did try, I can't remember what the game was. I'll put it in the description, but it's a game where you're a bunch of little garden gnomes and you have to infiltrate a house with a human and do mischief. So we were playing the demo of that, and that's pretty fun. I don't know that we'll play that a whole lot. And then as far as artists go, I did just buy a hoodie from Vesper Twine, and I did buy some prints from, I think it's Sibylline Art, but otherwise it's really just the same. I'm not consuming a ton of content. It's really just the same list for me right now. I have been inspired by oil paintings of birds, but we'll talk more about that later. As far as school goes, so this week I really want to finish the gesture drawing assignment. I really want to finish the 3rd environment study. I ideally would love to finish another assignment, but the next ones are kind of long. So we'll see how far we can get. And the end of quarter 1 is approaching. I've barely started doing anything, but I do want to make a print or stickers or something. So I'm at least going to grab some of my scans and clean those up to make stickers. So I have files for stickers so I can say I completed things, but I'd love to complete this print idea that I have floating around in my head. So we'll see how that goes. I wouldn't say I haven't been drawing a lot. I've been drawing a decent amount, but it's been definitely stilted because my whole lifestyle has been thrown off with my new job. I was working fully remote for a long time, for 5 years, I think. And now I'm working hybrid, which realistically is good. And my new job is good. And I come home feeling like I have energy to do things, which has not been the case for the past 5 years. The past 5 years, it's been definitely coming home and just having nothing left, just rotting. It's a good change, but it is a change. So it's still kind of thrown me off. And the time recently, we did the time change, and that's always something I really struggle with. Things are good, but they are different. And that is, making it a little bit harder for me. I saw Julianne Doodles on YouTube talking about how she feels like March is really the start of the year. You know, January is cold and gloomy and sad, and you're just filled with a lot of like momentum, but not the right kind of momentum. And then February is, for me, the worst month every year. Thankfully, this February was good. And then February is where you start to actually make the habits stick and start to make progress. So then March is where you can kind of start to hit your stride. And I'm gonna try to hold on to that, and I'm gonna try to hit my stride in March. So that's where I'm at. Let's see how far we can get on our assignments. Let's go. But first I need some sort of udon spicy peanut moment so that I can fuel up. So I was thinking about this print idea that I have not done yet, but I really want to lean a little bit more towards botanical elements and moody color palettes, more like maybe not dark academia, but definitely more nature-inspired, lived-in, patinaed kind of looks. And I'm not there yet, but I really want to be there. So I'm trying to inch that way every day. It's now a new day and a new meal. This is like a pesto burrata situation. I swear I don't just eat. I do work and draw. Anyway, now we're doing clothing studies. So all I'm doing is I'm grabbing interesting clothing on stock image models. These are honestly mostly just from Pinterest, and I'm trying to copy the shapes with the body underneath. So I did a little sketch of the body for her, and now I'm drawing this cool coat situation over top, trying to really hone in on the shapes that make the whole garment and then start to add some dimension to it. I'm not going crazy. Like, I didn't spend an astronomical amount of time on these, really just trying to study the way that the folds work and how they lay and seeing how quickly I can replicate what I'm seeing. This does not mean it's going quickly. I'm very slow. I draw so slow, but you know, I'm trying not to spend all night on each one. I'm trying to do a variety of them and make sure that I'm getting a lot of practice in and not just spend the whole time trying to make like a lifelike recreation of the image. So basically what I did there is I added some shadows in with the pencil, and then I added a tone all over, and then I added deeper shadows, and then I added highlights because I feel like I think that doing it on a mid-tone situation makes the highlights really pop and the shadows really pop, whereas if I tried to leave the coat kind of that background color, I would have had trouble with the contrast. So now we moved on to another one. I did really want to make sure that it felt like the shirt was lighter than the jeans. So I added a lot of color to the jeans. I added a lighter color to the shirt, just so that it pushes that even though I'm doing it in black and white, the shirt is white, the jeans are dark, that kind of thing. I feel like looking at the example or the assignments that other people are doing on the Discord, sometimes it's easy to get caught in the trap of having all of it start as the same tone, but I found that getting the values to actually match my reference image before really dialing in on the folds and increasing the contrast made it look much more believable. Whereas if I was trying to think of everything separately and treat everything separately, I was losing a lot of the contrast. And it was interesting how on dark clothing, like my first example and this one, obviously I was having a not so great time with faces on this day, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. Good thing that this was about the clothes and not about the faces, because I feel like I failed on the faces, but more black clothes where the shadows don't really matter that much, but the highlights just really add so much. Chef's kiss. Hello, it is time for an update. It is currently Thursday of week 46, but I do have some updates, so let's get into those. First off, I did finish 9 Goblins by Kingfisher. I'd probably rate it like a 3.5 or a 4. Frankly, it was what it said it was gonna be. It said it was gonna be a silly little adventure about goblins. It was. There was enough more topical themes that brought it a little bit depth, but overall, I mean, it was a YA book about goblins. That was very D&D vibe, and it was fine. I am now reading A Treachery of Swans. This was recommended to me online. It is funny, I don't really know a lot about Swan Lake other than Swan Princess from 1994. So the story is not super familiar to me. Everything that I'm recommended online ends up being way more romantic-y than I want it to be. But so far, this is not bad. I do lose the hold on it from the library on Sunday, so today's Thursday, so I need to like really lock in and get it read. But so far it's fine. And it's not as romantic-y as I kind of thought it was gonna be. So we'll see on that. I still kind of feel like I'm getting used to my new job, my new schedule, and while it's going well, and I am drawing a whole lot more, I'm not filming a whole lot more. I do feel like I'm doing a lot more drawing on the couch while watching videos and a lot less drawing with camera setup. I also have moved all of the offices around because of my new hybrid schedule. So my setup isn't as conducive to filming as it once was. So I'm still trying to work that out. So as far as school goes, I did look at the rest of the task list for term 3. My goal is to finish it before the end of this month. I have like 11 days left, so I don't think it's gonna happen because I still have 5.5 assignments and one more lecture, and the lecture's on anatomy, so it's going to be like a lecture. So I don't think that that's gonna happen, but I'm gonna try my best to get as close as I can. Like I said, I have had more energy to draw after work, which has been great, but I have been a little bit lower because I have made some changes. So first, I have fully swapped over to Clip Studio Paint at this point. I have left Photoshop. And I wanted to do this for a long time. You know, Adobe keeps raising their prices and they keep putting out like a worse product, like all the AI garbage. I'm just like not interested. So I did swap to Clip Studio Paint. And so far that's going well. Clip Studio Paint has a couple things that are a little bit of a learning curve, but for the most part is pretty intuitive, and that's been pretty nice. I have unfortunately not found a replacement for Adobe Lightroom, so I'm probably gonna keep that for now for like 10 bucks a month. If you guys have any good recommendations for something to replace Lightroom, I am all ears. I tried a few programs over the weekend. They were just terrible, honestly. So I don't know what to do there. I guess I can't fully get off of Adobe, but I'm getting closer. We did get rid of Amazon, which has been totally fine. And I am looking to leave Spotify this year. I need to do like one at a time, so I'm not quite ready. I did also used to edit everything in Premiere Pro, which is again, Adobe. And I made the switch last year to Davinci Resolve, which has been totally fine and honestly better in some cases. Like I think that their audio mixing is way better and more intuitive. Slowly, I guess I'm kind of just trying to put my money with better companies. Anyway, what I would like to do with the rest of the week. Let me go get my art school to-do list and I'll be right back. So 1,000 years ago for you guys on Instagram, I had you guys give me recommendations of characters from video games that had cool outfits because I have to draw 5 game clothing studies. By the time you guys are seeing this, this was 800 years ago. I'm gonna probably try to share some of it in my stories while I do it, but the finished product won't come out for months because I'm so behind on editing. But thank you past all of you guys who gave me suggestions for clothes. So I'm gonna at least try to knock out a few of those. And ideally, I'm gonna do that while I have the anatomy lecture on in the background because I am gonna have to watch that multiple times. It's all about the actual muscles and what they're called and what they do. So my goal before this video is over is to at least do, we'll say 1, maybe 2 game clothing studies. So that's where we're at. Let's see what we can get done. Spoiler alert, this is actually the end of the video. I didn't get any of those clothing studies done. I did start sketching one, but unfortunately you're gonna have to wait till next time to see how that went. Bye!